to third lecture of English. In the previous lecture, we have talked we have divided a comprehension called inventions of the future. We had discussed about that, and we had briefly discussed some of the grammar, and we had discussed what conversation is and all those things. If you don't remember that, then you can go and listen to the lectures that I've delivered before. So now we are going to talk about grammar a little bit today, different things. So let's start today's lecture. So, what does parts of speech means? What does this phrase mean? When we speak or when we write something or when we speak, uh, every word that we say is 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 something in English language, in Urdu language or in different languages. So whatever we say, like I'm using so many words right now, I am using all these are parts of speech, and we have named these parts of speech in different manners. We have named them. Some of them are verbs, some of them are nouns, adverbs, adjectives, pronouns, prepositions, conjunctions, so many other things. So every word that you utter from your mouth or you write down on a piece of paper is a part of speech. Speech means to speak, or to, when we're conversing something, when we're talking about something, or when we're writing something. So whatever we are writing, whatever, for example, these three words that are written, they are parts. This is one part, this is another, this is another. So this is also defined something in grammar in English language. Of is also defined something, speech is also something. So these are all parts of speech, so we're going to discuss some of them. So in the previous lecture, I have already told you about tenses. We have talked about present tense, past tense, and the future tense. I have already given you some examples. For example, if I say that um, I am giving a lecture right now. So this is present tense, because we are talking about this right now. This is something that is happening in the present. This is going on. So this is what tense? This is present tense. If I have to write this in the past tense, then how will I write? I am going to write I gave a lecture in the previous class. So what does it mean? That I have already done this thing. This is the thing of a past now. It has happened. It is not going to happen in the future, or it is not going on. It has happened. So whatever thing that has happened is written in past tense. And this verb over here is telling us past tense. I am giving and I gave. This is the past tense and this is the present tense. Give, giving, gave. Now what will I do? How will I write this in the future tense? I will write I will be giving a lecture in the next class about robots. So this is future tense. Means this is not happened yet, or this is not happening now. This will happen in the future. I will be. I'm If you look at the verb over here, the verb in the present tense and the future tense remains the same, but these modal verb, this is will is a modal verb, this is added to it. So I am giving a lecture right now, I will be giving a lecture, I gave a lecture. So what has changed? Exactly the verb. The form of verb has changed. It has There are different forms of verb which you used for present tense, future tense, and past tense. So the form of verb has changed, but in the future we are going to use will. When we talk about the future, we are going to use will or shall. So how we are going to see how we are going to use will or shall. So if we are going to talk about the future, we are going to use will. Whenever you have to write a sentence about the future, you are going to write will or shall or might or different other modal verbs. So will is a, what is will? Will is a modal verb. Will is a modal verb. Okay, will is a modal verb. So now, what are modal verbs? Let's discuss that. So model basically means form. So modal verb means form of verb. When we talk about modal verb, means form of verb, like what verb, form of verb we are going to use. There are so many modal verbs, but we are going to discuss will and will not. Okay, we are basically going to discuss will. So what's the definition? A verb such as can, could, shall, should, ought to, will, or would that is usually used with another verb to express the ideas such as possibility, necessity, and permission. So, what are modal verbs? Modal verb is basically a verb such as these. It can be one of these verbs which is used with another word. Like I gave you this example, this is a modal verb and this is another verb. So it is used, this modal verb is used with another verb to express ideas such as possibility, necessity, and permission. So I have written that I will be giving a lecture in the next class about robots. So this is necessary that I will be giving. Okay, I will be giving. So if we can use another modal verbs as well. I shall be giving. Shall means, it's not sure. But when I'm saying will, so it means that I definitely will be doing this. I will be doing this. When we talk about these modal verbs, we are basically talking about the future. So whenever you are going to use talk about future, you are going to use modal verbs such as will, shall, should, and all these verbs with another verb. So modal verbs cannot come alone. It always has another verb next to it, besides it. So for example, this is a verb right now in this example that I've given. So now we are going to talk about one modal verb, that is will. So when we use will when, so we can use will when for different situations, like when we have to make promises. When you make promise to somebody that I will, okay, when you, if your mother says that, okay, you are going to you're going to greet everybody with a smile when you enter the house. So what you're going to say, you're going to make a promise that I will do it. So you're going to use I will do it, mom. If mom says, beta, are you going to listen to me from next time? Are you going to respect me and then promise me? Then what you're going to say, you're going to say, yes mom, I will respect you from now onwards. And also when we have to make offer, for example, if you say that when you go to shop and the shopkeeper asks you that this drink is for 45 rupees, and you say no, but I will pay you 35 rupees. So this is making offer. So whenever you go out, you make offer to somebody, you say I will do this, I will make you this offer. Or to make quick decisions, or like oh well, I have to do a lot of homework, oh I will be needing this, oh I will be going to school tomorrow, or things like that. Oh, I will have to go to the shop to buy this. So to make decisions, to make predictions of the future, like um, the in the future there are going to be so many robots for work. So in the future, when you talk about the future, you say that in the future I am going to be a doctor, I am going to be doctor in the future, I'm going to be doctor in the I am going to have a big house in the future, I'm going to buy my parents a car. So these are the things where you can use will and may. So these are the things that situations that where you can use will. So what is want means will not. So it is basically contracted. Okay, want is basically contraction of will not. This is will not, means that when you have to say something negative, that I will do this. For example, let me just write this example. For example, I will go to I will go to school. Okay, and you say that and your sister says, but brother, I will not go to school. Or you can write I I you can short will not into won't. I won't go to school. So when you have to write something negative, then you have to write not. So whenever you are going to say I will do this, then that is will. But when you are going to say no, I will not do this, when you have it, like when you made up your mind that you're not going to do something, or that this thing is not going to happen, then we use will not. We are not going to use will. When you're going to use will not, this is negative form of will. So and this has and won't is the contraction of will not. So when you have to write will not in short form and you're going to contract, then you're going to add apostrophe and you're going to write wont, like wont. You just remove all these letters. All right, students. So now if you are going to open page number 6 of your book, you're going to see that we have already talked about this paragraph. We have talked about read about this future of robots. So now let's look at some of the grammar. um, so for example, we will go to the coast. So now these are parts of speech. So what have they done? They have distributed, they have basically uh, um, um, put divided all the words of the sentences into parts. So what, and each part is named something. For example, we will go to the coast. So what is we? We is a pronoun. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word that is used instead of a noun. So there is no noun, so we are going to use the pronoun which is we. For example, Ali, Asad and Umar will go to the coast. So instead of noun, we have used we. So this is a pronoun. Will, will is a modal verb. We have already told you. Go is a verb. Complement is basically words that give more meaning to the sentence, that add information to the sentence. So where will we go? We will go to the coast. So coast. So this is a complement is when you add additional thing that you can that you something that you get in addition to something. So this is adding information to the sentence. So we is pronoun, will is a modal verb, go is a verb, and to the cost is the complement. For example, in the next sentence, and this is the negative form of the sentence. I've already told you when we will use will and won't. We are going to use will when we have to do something, and we are going to use won't when we are not going to do something. Won't is basically the short form of will not. So we won't go into the space. We won't go into space. So we won't means will not go into the space. We is a pronoun, won't is a modal verb, and go is a verb, and into the space is a complement. Okay, and will they go to the moon? So now this is a question. You have to remember that whenever you are going to write a sentence, you're going to put the first make the first word of the sentence capital. So this word is a capital, written in capital letters. And if it's not a question or it's not an expression, then you're going to end the sentence with a period or a full stop. It's a period, so you have ended the sentence properly. Always remember this. You're going to start off with capital letters, and you're going to put a full stop or a period if it's a sentence, and if it's a question mark, then you are going to end it with a question mark. For example, will they go to the moon? So will they go to the moon? Again, they is a pronoun, go is a verb, and to the moon is a complement. And what will be the negative form of it? The negative form will be we. When will we travel into space? So, okay, no, this is not the negative form. The negative form of it will be will they go to the space? So the negative form will be will they not go to the space? That will be the negative form. So this is a question. When we have to write something in the question, we are going to rephrase our question. For example, the now what have we done? We have brought the modal verb at the beginning of the sentence. So whenever you are going to write a question, then you're going to bring the modal verb at the beginning of the sentence. In this sentence, the modal verb is in the middle, and in this sentence, the modal verb is in the beginning. Will, the sentence is starting with will. When will they will travel into space? So you have to rephrase the question. When you have to rephrase a sentence into a question, then you have to rephrase the whole sentence. Will they go to the moon? Now this has become question. So will means are they going to go to the moon? We are not sure. This is a question. We will go to the coast means we're sure we are going to go to the coast. When will we travel to the space? We are again not sure when. When will we do? Like when is the question, like when will we? So you have to rephrase your question. Whenever you want to write into question form, then you have to rephrase. You are going to bring the you're going to change the position of the modal verb. Okay, remember that. So now what we are going to do is, you have this exercise in your book, which is read and say. Replace the highlighted word with a new word. She will go to the theater. So theater means a place where we see different shows or different dramas and live show and everything. So you have to replace the word with a new word. Like you have to replace this word either with a beach, museum, or library. This is up to you. I won't go into the kitchen. You have to replace the word, this noun with these nouns. So read and write the sentence using will and won't. She, now this is a positive sentence and this is the negative sentence, so you have to choose whether you will what will use. When you have to write a positive sentence, you will use you will, but when you have to write a negative sentence, then you're going to write won't. So for example, she and market, this is a positive sentence because there's a tick over here. So what will be the sentence? He will go to the market. This is a negative sentence. So what are you going to write? You will not go to the playground. Okay, you will not go to the playground. And secondly, this third one you have to do on your own. Now unscramble and write. Unscramble is basically means that you have to, these are mixed up words, these are not in the proper form. So what you're going to do is, you are going to scramble them in a proper form. So unscramble them, you have to make the position of the word, position of the sentence, each word into a correct form so that it makes sense. For example, into, he, the haunted house, go, won't. So this is unscrambled, so you have to write the sentence properly. For example, I'm going to do the first one for you. The first one is going to be, into the haunted house, go, won't. So the first one would be, he won't or slash will not go into the haunted house. Now ended with a full stop. This is the correct form of this sentence. He won't or will not go into the haunted house. He is the pronoun, will and will not are the modal verbs. Got into is the preposition. The haunted house is the verb. So haunted is the haunted house is the verb, noun, sorry. So this is how we are going to rephrase the sentence. He will or will not go into the haunted house, full stop. Now you're going to do the other uh, on your own. So let's go to this now. Now these are some of the contractions, and the full form of the verb is given. Now you have to remember those. Remember this. If it's written he ill, that means he will. She ill, that is she will. It ill, it means it will. I ill means I will. Will means we will. They'll means they will. On Monday, soon. I will this evening, later. In a month's time, this year. In 2 months' time, next year. The base form of the verb comes with will and will not. On Monday, if you're going to say something, like if you're going to say that I'm going to do this on Monday, and you're not sure that which day, then you're going to say I'm going to do this soon. Or if you have to do this sometimes later, then you're going to write that if you have to do this something in the, you're not sure when you're going to do this, in the evening or morning, you're going to say I'm going to do this later. You can use these words instead of these when you're not sure about something. Or in a month's time, then you can say I'm going to do this year. And in 2 weeks time, then you're going to say that I'm going to do this in the next week. So you have to remember this. Okay, you have to remember that the base form of the verb comes after will or will not. For example, in this sentence, she will go. Now this is the base form of the verb. It is coming after the modal verb, so you have to remember this will come before the verb, the main verb. Okay, so remember this. So now when it comes to writing something, or whatever you are writing, what you are going to do is you're going to first of all name the topic. You're going to name that paragraph something, or you're going to identify the topic of that sentence. So whatever you're going to write, you are going to write a topic, that what is this whole paragraph about. So whenever you have to choose a topic, name of the topic, which tells or which gives the idea about the paragraph. So the topic of this paragraph is my idea for the future. So we can just get a hint that this paragraph is going to talk about my idea of the future. There's a person who's talking about that, what the future is going to be like. So let's start reading. I will invent a remote controlled door opener. My dog always wants to go in and out, and I have to open the door for him. If I had a remote control door opener, my problem would be solved. He will scratch at the door, and I will push a button on the remote control. The door will open, and I will continue with my homework or finish watching a movie. I won't have to get up and down all the time. I will save time. So now if you're going to see, he's talking about the future, that what is going to my future is going to be like what is my idea of the future. So he's using for the future, he's using will for positive sentences and won't for negative sentences. Like I will invent a remote control, he's talking about the future. My dog always wants to go in and out, and I have to open the door for him. If I had a remote control door opener, my problem would be solved. Like would be is also a modal verb. So like would be is if this happens, then then this will happen. So then we have used would be. So there are some of the writing tips. Start with the main idea that says what you are explaining. So you already always start with the main idea, like just in a brief line, just talk about the um, just in one sentence talk about the main idea, like what is the main idea of this paragraph. For example, I will invent a remote control door opener. So in this paragraph, in this whole paragraph, he's going to talk about a remote control door opener. This is the main idea. Now in the whole paragraph, he's going to tell us about why he's using it, or why he wants a remote control door opener, or blah blah. Use detail to help readers make a picture in their mind. So you have to now make you have to use different details. Now you have written the topic, you have written the name of the topic, you have written the main idea in one sentence, and then you're going to write explain the main idea. For example, he has done I will invent. Now he's explaining why I want this, how will it happen, and what will happen, and why it is not good, why is it good, or whatever. End with a sentence that says what you are explaining again. So, what are you explaining again? So why he did it, he has told it in the end. I will save time and I won't have to. Why he's saying? Because I am doing all this because I won't have to get up and down all the time, and I will save time. So what you are going to do is you're going to start off with the main idea, then you're going to explain the main idea, and then you're going to end it. Why? Why would I want it? So what are some things you'd like to do in the future? Write about them below. I will have a remote control door opener. So this is just a brief example of it. So now you are going to finish off the sentences as per you like. I will also do this. You can pick this from here, or you can write the sentence on your own. Finally, I will. You have to write this. Write about a future invention you'd like to make. Use the sentences below to help you. So now you are going to do this at your homes, and you're going to see that how you are going to do it. Okay. So you have to revise this lecture at home, and if you are not going to understand anything, then you please contact the um, school administration, and then they're going to let me know, and you're going to write as much as you want, because it will only help you improve your English. And you have to revise all the lectures at home, because only then you're going to benefit from these lectures. Okay, till then, take care. I'm going to see you in the next lecture. Bye. Allah Hafiz.